where we were a high achieving school. Most of our pupils got A's and A stars, and we had a large sixth form. Okay, so if you decide to come to Morecambe Bay Academy, you will get some of the best teaching, I believe, now that is going on across Lancaster. Okay, for A level, you imagine A level as two separate GCSEs for history. So you will do one part of your A level with me, which will be the causes and courses of the American Civil War. So why have I got this flag up and why have I got this gentleman up with the sign "Just Do It"? So you will learn the evolution of America. So you'll learn all about the flag, why it's red, white and blue, what the 50 stars represent, and why he's got "Just Do It," why they take the knee in America. You'll do from 1776 right the way up to 1870, which is the start really of the formation of the United States of America. You'll do all the causes, but the most important bit, you'll do all the politics. You'll do how the American government works. You'll do about Senate, Congress, how they vote. You'll do about the role of the president, impeachment, and eventually how he ends up becoming one of the most powerful men in the world. Okay, you'll learn about different states and how there's conflict among different states. You'll learn about federalism. So if you want to go on to university, and you should be thinking about university, they like this for law. They prefer it rather than do A-level law. They prefer you to do A-level history because you will get sources from the American Civil War and you'll be asked to comment on them. You'll be asked to look at the bias. And really, this is where you're allowed the flair, where you can talk about the bias, you talk about the person, and you talk about whether those facts are true or not. So you're actually going through documents and deciding whether those documents are true or what we should be aware of looking at those documents as modern historians. You'll also do a second part of your A-level. So you will have, each week, you will have 4 lessons of history and you will do 2 lessons with me and you will do 2 lessons either with Mrs. Hill or Mrs. Halhead. And with them, you will be doing British democracy. You'll do about British industrialization. You'll do how we became the most powerful country in the world. You look at Peel's reforms. You look at political protests. You look at how Britain became industrialized and advanced throughout the world. Now, why would you do history than other subjects? When you go for university, you'll be asked, for example, if you want to do medicine, they'll say to you, you need 3 A-levels and you need 3 A's. But one of those A-levels has to be physics. So you'll need A-level, A physics to do medicine. And then they might say to you, your second A-level can be chemistry, maths, or something else. And then they'll say to you, your third A-level can be what they class a facilitating A-level. Now, let me explain to you what a facilitating A-level is. A facilitating A-level is an A-level that is academic that universities like. And there's only about 6 or 7 of them. So, for example, law is not classed a facilitating A-level. So if you wanted to do medicine and you did A-level physics, A-level maths, and history, they would actually take it. They would actually allow you, as long as you got an A in history, they would actually allow you to then go on to the course of your choice. So history is a facilitating A-level. It is an excellent A-level to have. And it can take you into a variety of jobs. So not only just law, not only local government, politics, anything like that. You can do research. You can do journalism. Going to work for the BBC. It allows you to go on to do writing courses. So, for example, if you're planning on being a writer or something like that, they will allow you onto the course so that you are able to do it. Now, if you take A-level history, in year 12, you will study 2 lessons American Civil War and 2 lessons British industrialisation. Now the pupils this year, this is the first year they've started this new course, and they've actually found it really enjoyable. They've found America particularly enjoyable because we have Trump as the president, and they know what impeachment is, they know the process of impeachment, they've been following the elections, and they understand how different states vote differently, and they understand where the Republicans have come from and where the Democrats have come from. And until Barack Obama had become president, Black people had generally voted Republican, and they understand the reason why. When you get to year 13, you will carry on with your 2 lessons from British industrialisation, and you will have 2 lessons with me, but only 1 lesson will be based on the course. So you will do the actual war, the Civil War, and then your second lesson will be based on your controlled assessment. Now let me explain what the controlled assessment is. It is 1 essay. It has to be typed, and this is a really good reason to do history. It has to be typed, and I will teach you how to type a correct word processed essay and use documents for university. It's done under my supervision, and you get a choice of essay titles. So it's up to you which essay title you take, and then you will be expected in my lesson. I have to see that you're typing it up, writing it, but you will be expected in some of those study lessons then to go to the library and work on it independently. Now, we have a rule in history for the coursework. If you are very eager and you start your controlled assessment and you find that you can write it quite easily and you get ahead of yourself, as long as I accept it, which means it has to be at least 1 grade above your predicted grade. So for example, if you're predicted a B, I would expect you on your coursework to get an A. Once it's up to that standard, and I will provide you with guidance, so you haven't got to worry, you haven't got to sit there and think, oh my God, I can't do it, the pressure's on me. Or if you predicted a D and you want to get an A, and you think, oh, I just need some little bit more help and support, I will help you with that. Once it's accepted and you've got the grade that both of us are happy with, that lesson, you still have to come to my lesson, but you may then finish off other, for example, the homework in history, you may do it in that lesson to move you forward. So it is a fantastic A-level to have, and it blends well with all English, geography, and even the science A-levels. Okay, it is very different to other A-levels because not only am I teaching you facts, you do need to be able to develop your own opinions. And sometimes you might give your opinion, and as long as it's justifiable, they would accept your opinion. All right, because when you do GCSE, especially if you've done it at Morecambe and we've done sources, you can't break out of what they want for GCSE. With A-level, you're more than welcome to. It's developing your analytic skills for university. Right, has anybody in the who's there, before I move on, has anybody got any questions? You may speak if you've got a question. Has anybody got any questions? Anybody? Right. If you want to do A-level history, we would expect a level 5 above. However, if you get a level 4, because it is still a C grade, as long as you have a discussion with the teacher, because the only thing I would say about A-level is You would have to get your files, and it's more about you being more independent and organising yourself. If you're staying on because you think I've got nowhere to go, that's not going to stand you in good stead. All right. You will get 2 essays to write every term. So you'll have 1 essay from me to write and 1 essay from the other teachers to write, which is about 2 to 3 sides. Okay. You will have writing frames and we will provide you with content. All I can say is everyone who's done it, who started A-level history with us, has stayed, and they've actually said so far, out of all the A-levels, it's the A-level they're enjoying the most. And because of that, some people have decided to change what they want to do at university. If you want to do, and you're undecided, you want to do an apprenticeship, I personally would stay on because it's an uncertain time and there are going to be a lot of people applying for apprenticeships the year coming forward. And I think if you've got A-levels behind you, you're more likely to get accepted for that apprenticeship. And really 2 years is not going to make much difference. And at the end of the 2 years, when you're 17 going on 18 or just turned 18, you might decide, I want to go to university, but I want to do the apprenticeship. And the apprenticeship might say to you, if you've done A-levels, they would fund you your university place. I know a few people who's applied for EDF and they've been told by EDF the reason they didn't get the apprenticeship was, the simple reason was there were people who had done A-levels, they were 17, 18, so they've taken them on to do those A-levels. All right. So it is it's an enjoyable A-level. You do have to work and you do have to be more independent. All right. So there's no, you don't do the work, you get a lunchtime detention. There's none of that. All right. But it is up to you now to start thinking about what you want to do long term. I personally would come here. Those at Carnforth who don't know me, you'll have my lovely Welsh voice for 2 years. I'm only joking. I think you'd really enjoy the school. I think it's a lovely school. The pupils who are here, who will be staying on, are absolutely lovely. The sixth form, they do have their own little block now, and it is being developed. And you will enjoy the lessons. Right, I'd like some questions from people. So if anybody has a ability to speak, please can you ask some questions? Have you got any questions? Nobody has any questions. Right, well, I'm not gonna start the course with you today. You obviously will know you'll be doing American Civil War. You'll be learning about taking the knee. You'll be learning about British industrialization. You're going to be learning about the presidents of the United States, the politics, the states themselves, and you will be learning about British industrialization. So you'll be learning about Peel and Peel's reforms and how Britain became the country that it is today. It is 2 topic areas that are very enjoyable, and we choose these topic areas because then when we come to doing the coursework, it allows us more variety to choose what coursework we're actually doing. You cannot do coursework on anything that you've actually studied. So you couldn't do your coursework on America and you couldn't do your coursework on British industrialization. Okay, right. I've got nothing else to add to that. I was told it only had to be about 15, 20 minutes. Can you let me know if you're thinking about doing it? So nobody's speaking. Right, I'm going to call out some names to see if people can speak. Tegan? Hi, Tegan, can you hear me? Nope. Right. Right, I can't. Oh, right, someone's hand's up. Let's see whose hand's up. Right, who's put their hand up? Whoever's put their hand up, do you want to just speak? Because the ICT, it's not the ICT, it's actually me. I'm not the. Right, let's go up. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's that?
Will, did you say that coursework could be on like any period of time?
Yeah, what happens is they send us a list of coursework. Technically, it can be on anything, well, but I've got to mention this to you. The coursework is worth 20% of your mark. So if you're predicted a C and you do a really good piece of coursework, you could get a high B, maybe a low A with it. All right, so it's really important, the coursework. That's why if you go to a lot of the schools and you ask them about the coursework, every school will have to do coursework, and you ask them about the coursework at Ripley, they'll tell you, just go off and do it. Why do I do a lesson under my supervision? I want you to get, and you can get full marks in the coursework. So if there's like little things you're doing wrong, I can say to you, oh, perhaps you should do it this way. You can do it on anything, well, but it has to cover 100 years. So, and the other problem is you have to have books. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose 3 topic areas. We're going to fund the library with the books. So we're actually going to pay for the books for you. We're going to put them in the library as reference only, and then you can work on it in your own time. It has to be typed as well. So yeah, you could do wherever. Technically, I have to say to you, you could do anything. You have to submit your essay title to me, and I have to submit it to AQA, and they have to accept it. All right. The only problem, if you do something that's very niche, I wouldn't be able to help you maybe with certain aspects of it. And it's impossible. You never have a teacher who could cover all the history. Any teacher who tells you they know everything is a bit of a fibber. Does that answer it well?
Yeah, Brill, thanks.
But what is quite nice that they've never done in this school, and I know they don't do it in the other school, we have a coursework lesson. And what I found with year 13 this year especially, some pupils have finished the coursework already and they're only predicted C's and they've got high B's. And I've said to them, well, forget about it now because we don't have to send it off till the end of April, beginning of May. So I said, have a break from it. And then maybe in a month's time, so I haven't accepted it from them, haven't marked it, maybe in a month's time, we can sit down when we come back, have a little look at it, and maybe put that little bit of sparkle in it to get their A. So if that person then gets an A on their coursework and they're predicted a C, and they get a C in their exam, they're going to come up with a very high B. You know, if they do really well, they could even push themselves into a low A. So that's how we do it. So you know, other people haven't quite finished, yeah, but we work on it one-to-one, not one-to-one, but we work on it continuously until we get to the point where we have to say, right, we've got to stop because we've got to mark it and send it off. But yeah, you could do anything, but you would need them maybe to fund your own books. If there was a lot of you wanted to do one topic area and we didn't have books in the library, the department would go out and buy the books for you. All right. But what they've found with year 13 is they're all applying for uni. And a lot of them applying for really good universities like Manchester University. Someone's going to London School of Economics in London, and they have told them that they need like 2 A's and a B. So what they've done is they're definitely going to get their A, and maybe in their weaker subjects, they're only going to get a B. So when they decided to do the coursework, they all opted for the same coursework so we could buy lots of books, and it makes it easier for them to do it then. All right. It depends on the numbers as well. Well, obviously, we've got a load in year 12 doing it. I think there's 28 pupils. So we don't want 28 different essays. That's the only problem. All right. But you've got to cover 100 years. So you'd have to submit your titles, and it gets harder. Any other questions, Will?
No, that's fine. Thanks.
Yeah, are you thinking of coming? You're not putting any pressure on you, but you thinking of coming?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're thinking of doing at university, Will?
No clue.
Right. Even if we want to do science, history is a good third A level to have. All right. So, you know, my nephew's a doctor, and in his school they had to do 4 A levels. And I said, take your 4th A level as history because you'll easily get an A star. And he went on to do medicine, and they were impressed with him that he did history in the end. Okay. So, have I got any other questions? You will enjoy it. You'll enjoy America because even though you do the politics and you do the war, you'll also do a bit of the social history. And it's quite interesting because when we do it, we're bringing in films and things like that. And we say, this is where it came from in the film. And people are saying, I never knew that. And even words, you know, American words that are ours, that come from the Civil War. And they say to me, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So they are really, really enjoying it. Have I got any other questions? I'd like some questions. Right, Carnforth. I know there's a few people who have put in from Carnforth. Sorry, I pronounced that a bit wrong. Ellie, are you all right from Carnforth? And Freya Jones, you're from Carnforth. Are you all right? Can you speak?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah. Are you thinking of like looking at all the 6 forms and then making the decision, are you?
Yeah, I especially want to do history, so I was looking for a 6th form to do that in particular.
Right, you'll enjoy it, yeah. And I've got 20 years experience. Obviously, you can tell from my voice. And if you speak to some of them at GCSE students, they'll tell you, you know, I've come new to the school, and I've come from a school where most of our pupils got A's and A stars or A level because it is enjoyable. But also we know the course really, really well that we can guide you through it because what I don't want is people starting the course and saying, oh my God, this is just too hard for me. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to grow. And then at the end of it, I want you to turn around and say, yeah, I'm so glad I did history because it's not only provided me with knowledge, but it's provided me with the skills that I will need to go to university and take forward. Sorry, Freya, are you thinking of going to university?
Yeah.
Right, so you'll need a good A level. Are you going to Ripley 6th form as well to have a look?
Yeah, hopefully.
Right. Well, don't be put off with the old Morecambe because it has changed and it is a very nice school and our A-level students are doing really well. And last year, I know we put in the grades, but the year before, everybody got their target grade or above. And this year, they have to do the coursework. They're doing the coursework now. Somebody has finished it. So they're all on course to be above. You know, we want people to achieve. We want you to feel happy. And I would say if you speak to the GCSE students, they will say, we're all approachable. We're all really nice. We want you to do well. And Mrs. Halhead is very, very funny. And so is Mrs. Hull, are very, very funny when they teach. They make, not only do they make the content enjoyable, they make the whole lessons enjoyable as well. Right, have I got any other questions? So you would need at least a level 4, maybe a level 5, really to get accepted. But can I just say, you've got something now to push yourselves. All right, I know a lot of my GCSE classes are working way above their levels and will easily get above level 5s at the moment. So if you do have an exam, you know you've got something to push yourself. Right, have I got any more questions? It's lovely to see some pupils that I teach. Mia, Max, sorry guys from Carnforth, it's just I haven't seen these guys for so long. Ellie, it's lovely to see you all on here. Mia W, I got Mia B, Mia W. Yeah. So, and there's some from Morecambe as well that I don't teach, but I know Victor. Lovely to see you. Yeah. Right, have I got any questions? Yeah? Any questions?
Miss,
Yeah, go on.
got
Brilliant.
one more.
Go on then.
Just out of curiosity, what is like the strangest time period you've seen someone pick for like, coursework?
Right. I've never had, and I'm saying this because I know Max is on the line, and Max knows that I know nothing about the Romans. I don't know if he would be able to do anything. Max knows a lot on ancient history, superb. All right, he knows a lot about the Greeks and the Romans. When you do history, you tend to do ancient history, then you do history, which is what I did, which is then you do like 1066 up to maybe Tudor, Stuarts and industrialize, and then you do what they call modern history, which is maybe then all about the politics, industrialization forward. I don't know anything about ancient history. I haven't ever had anybody pick anything from ancient history. And I would dread to think that, because I just wouldn't know it. I'm not going to lie. I know Carnforth are listening, but I can't sit there and say, yeah, I know it. I don't. I wouldn't say strangest history. I had a boy once who wanted to do Britain before World War One, the war and the aftermath, and it just covered 100 years. And I have to say, he was breathtaking. He was outstanding to the point that I'd sit there and he just absorbed it. He was just reading books. His dad was into it, so they went off to all the sites. He was just amazing. And basically, I didn't do much for his essay. I didn't help him practically at all. Maybe now and again told him that's a capital letter there. But once I showed him how to write the essay, because when you go to university, you have to write an essay, you have to type an essay, and there are rules, like 2 spaces after a full stop. You don't indent, you use font, so-and-so. You do, the lines have to be 1.5 and stuff like that, 1.15. So I teach you how to actually write it properly. So when you go off to university, you've actually had, you actually know how to write that. I did have one year, somebody went to university to do English and history, and they were a bit naughty. And they did American Civil War, and because I had taught it in so much detail, they did that as their first year of study. And because they did so well at a first, they changed from doing English to history so they could get a first. And then at the end of it, which was 3 years, they did 1 year law conversion, and they became a barrister. And because they had a first, they could get into all the top law firms. So they were quite clever because they were doing English. They were going to do English, and they were thinking of maybe, I think this person lacked a bit of confidence because they wanted to do law and they'd been told it was really competitive. So she was doing English. But then when she got her first through history, because she changed then to doing, she did a lot of American history, and she got her first, she then did 1 year and she did law. So yeah, I haven't really had any strange choices. I do dread it though. But you do get a list from AQA. They do try and help you and make suggestions. And don't forget, you've got to submit that question to them. So by June, July in year 12, you'll be choosing your coursework. So our year 12s next month will start choosing their essay title, and I have to submit that to the exam board, and then they come back and say yes or no, you can do it. Because they mark your essay. I mark it first, and then I send it off, and then they agree with my mark, and they send it then to somebody who is a specialist in that subject. Okay? Any other questions? Anybody questions? Right, no questions. Right, those from Carnforth, if you want to email me with a question, I'm tnorman, TNORMAN at Morecambe Bay Academy. Okay, if you want to email me a question or you want me to give you a little phone call one-to-one and go over anything with you, you're more than welcome to. All right, and I'll catch up with you. I hope to see you all September. Stay safe. Don't get stressed over these exams. Remember, everybody's in the same boat. Yes, with these GCSEs. And hopefully I'll see you all, my guys, I hope I see you all after February half term. And I hope I see some of the CALM4 pupils joining in September. Just remember, ask when you go to your other, like Ripley, ask, do you have a coursework lesson? Things like that will tell you how much support you will be getting, and you will be getting that support at Morecambe, all right? Because at the end of the day, you're on a journey. You have to get those GCSEs, then you have to get your A-levels, and then your next part of the journey is going off to university. And can I say university is an absolutely amazing time, all right? And you really will enjoy it. It's really worth doing. Okay? Right, I'm going to have to ask you then, if nobody's got any questions. Any questions?